Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to be getting a look at one of the first leaked benchmarks for the anticipated Intel i9-10900K, which we're expecting to release very soon. So we've got the very first benchmark for that on Cinebench R15, overclocked at 5.4 gigahertz. We can get a look at the performance on that, the stock, and compare it against the previous generations, as well as AMD counterparts, to figure out just where the 10900K is going to end up landing. And also, we've got an official release date for Halo 2 for the Master Chief Collection, which is going to be coming out on Steam, as well as the Microsoft Windows Store. Did you just finish building a sweet gaming rig only to have this happen to you? Not to worry, because your CD Key has you covered with Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $18. And if you head over there right now, you could save 20% off with my code JPD20 at checkout. You'll receive your key within seconds, and then just click the start button and type activate to find the Windows activation screen, and all you got to do then is paste your code in. For more info as well as that coupon code, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. So first up, let's talk about that leaked Cinebench R15 benchmark for the 10900K CPU. This was posted up online on a forum which has since been deleted, but it's obviously been preserved because the internet being the internet, once it hits the internet, it lives forever. We've got CPUs that screenshots here, as well as the score on Cinebench R15 for multi-core test. It did not run a single core test, unfortunately, as that probably would have told us a lot more comparing it against other generations, but we do have the multi-threaded score, so we'll just work with what we've got right here. But if you take a look on the CPU's Z screenshot, you can see the 10900K here on the Comet Lake. It's 14 nanometer plus, and wait for next year for the plus, and that is running at 1.35 volts for a 5.4 gigahertz overclock, which is obviously going to be pushing out some serious heat. And I also have to believe that this thing is some golden sample to be hitting 5.4 gigahertz at 1.35 volts. I would have assumed this thing would have had to have been at least at 1.4 or even higher on liquid nitrogen to be able to maintain 5.4 gigahertz. I don't think Intel has done a lot in terms of power delivery with this new lineup of processors, with how high the TDPs are, over 125 watts. So 5.4 gigahertz at 1.35 volts, you know, I'm just going to call it like it is. I don't think this is going to be a realistic goal for a lot of people out there. I mean, I think some golden samples will be able to hit 5.4 gigahertz, but I think probably most of them can hit that. But the real question is going to be, what voltage will you need to be able to do it? And, you know, we'll just have to wait and see once these processors are out, how many of them can actually do it at a voltage of 1.35. And at that, you know, voltage, it could reasonably run on a 240 millimeter or a 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler without the need of anything really crazy. And you could probably keep it running at that if the voltage is as low as it is here. But what the temperatures are, we really don't know. Getting the 10 cores, 20 threads all onto one package, temperatures even at 1.35 volts could still be pretty high here. So in regards to the benchmark, which is based on that 5.4 gigahertz overclock, you can see that the CPU scored 3002 on Cinebench R15 with his test setup here, which had 16 gigabytes of RAM. It was running on an ASRock motherboard, Z490 Phantom gaming motherboard to be exact. And if we take a look down here in the reference numbers here, you can see that his test right here is represented with the score of 3002, and then compared against a typical system or a stock system of similar spec, the 10900K is estimated to get around 2,347. So that's really what you would be looking for on a stock 10900K CPU versus the 3002 here, with a pretty high-end overclock. The stock 10900Ks are meant to be boosting to 4.8 gigahertz all-core, as long as the thermal conditions and everything are met and it's not getting too hot or anything like that. They should be able to run at around 4.8 gigahertz all-core. Now, if we compare the stock numbers on here of the 10900K versus the stock 9900K, the gains here actually don't really appear to be that impressive. And again, we don't know how many of these processors are going to be able to hit 5.4 gigahertz. Hey, if they can all do 5.4 gigahertz, then that's fantastic, and these are going to be some seriously monstrous CPUs, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. So looking at the 10900K at stock, it scored 2347. If we compare that against the stock score of a 9900K, you're looking at around 2067. Now, you could even kick up to an overclocked 9900K, and they have that listed on here. Like, this is like an average of what you might see on an overclocked 9900K of a score of 2220. I did run Cinebench R15 just before starting this video, and I scored around this 2067 mark because I actually have mine locked at 4.8 gigahertz on all cores. I don't have mine overclocked. I actually have it undervolted, and I keep it at 4.8 gigahertz all core. That's just what I like to keep it at, and I was right around the 2067 mark within just a few points, honestly, which for the multi-threaded test on Cinebench R15 is really not that much. So if we're taking that 2067 and we're comparing it to the stock 10900K at 2347, we're looking at around a 13.5% improvement in terms of the multi-threaded score. Now, that doesn't really seem to leave a whole lot of wiggle room in terms of single core performance. If I'm guessing, I don't think there's going to be much improvement there, if any at all. And in terms, 13.5% improvement in performance might sound like a decent amount, but in reality, you're comparing an 8-core 16-thread versus a 10-core 20-thread. So a 13.5% improvement versus a processor that literally has 25% more threads than its predecessor, that to me doesn't really sound very good at all. But of course, all things considered, if you can hit 5.4 gigahertz, then the scores are going to, shoot up quite a bit, over like 33% improvement over the 9900K, and then you're getting the extra cores and threads. So, these processors are really only going to make sense for people that can make use of those extra cores and threads, and for whatever reason don't want to go out and get a Ryzen processors, as they have the 3950Xs listed here, and you could see even a stock one is getting around 5,000 CB on its score versus the 10900K overclocked is just around 3,000. So that's a considerable amount more. Granted, the 3950Xs do sell for a couple $100 more than the 10900K, but you can even grab the 12 core, and that would probably beat the 10900K in multi-threaded workloads as well, which is really what your market is for these CPUs. If you're buying something with more than 8 cores, you really should be putting those to work for something that can leverage them and not just for gaming, which is where the single core scores are going to matter. And I don't think it's going to be that impressive on the 10 core versus the 8 core 9900K. I think they're going to be about on par with each other. So roughly 13.5% improvement in performance in multi-threaded workloads is it's something, but it's not a lot. It's not exactly what I expected. But we'll just have to wait and see once these processors come out how many of them can actually hit 5.4 gigahertz, let alone at a somewhat reasonable voltage of 1.35 volts. And even if that is a reasonable voltage, we don't know. We have no idea what temperatures the person running this was getting at 1.35. So that's all we've got for right now on the 10900K. Hopefully we start to see some benchmarks rolling in for those pretty soon. I am excited to see those numbers. I've still not been sampled yet. If I was, I couldn't tell you anyway, but I wouldn't even bring it up to mention you that I didn't get one because I haven't gotten one. So we'll have to wait and see when those numbers come in. I'm waiting to see the actual numbers just like the rest of you guys out there. And last up, before we get out of here, I just quickly wanted to mention for all you Halo fans out there, if you've been waiting for the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition to be arriving on PC, it has now been officially revealed to be arriving next Tuesday, May the 12th, for the Master Chief Collection, which you can grab over on Steam for $40, or so far up until now, they've been releasing the individual games for $10 a piece. So you can kind of do it however you want, or you can get the Xbox Game Pass, which is, I believe, $5 a month. So you have a few different ways of going about and getting it. Of course, it's available on Steam and the Microsoft Store. There was a teaser trailer posted yesterday on Twitter and YouTube to kind of go along with the announcement for the release date on May the 12th. So not too much longer to go, and I've actually really been waiting for this because Halo 2 was easily my favorite campaign of the entire franchise and probably my favorite multiplayer maps as well. I know when, later on with map editors and stuff, they were some of the maps that me and my friends liked creating in Forge to be able to try to get as close as possible to that Halo 2 experience. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out, getting back in on the multiplayer and redoing the single player campaign. This is the one I have personally really been waiting for, so I'll definitely be diving in on May the 12th. I already own it on the Xbox Game Pass, but let me know if you're excited for it down in the comments below. And also, please, your thoughts on the 10900K Cinebench R15 benchmark. What are your thoughts on that? Or is it about where you expected it to be? Worse? Better? Let me know. Let's discuss it down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, though. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you're not already, all that good stuff. Maybe ring the bell. That way you don't miss a video as soon as I post it to the channel. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you all in the next one.